Okay, so the audio may possibly get claps for copyright. I don't know. Audio might get clapped for copyright, so let's see what we can do about that. But anywho, see, let's talk about. I just saw Dragon Ball Superhero, the latest movie from Funimation / Crunchyroll, which the DVD, I have the physical copy, so it's funny that it's not on the actual site yet. Could have saved like $20, but actually, I know I'm talking crap about spending money, but it was actually I actually enjoyed the film. What do you call it? When I saw the trailers, the CGI trailers, they looked a little funny to me. I didn't really like the animation style or choice, but it didn't like stop my enjoyment of watching the film. It wasn't like Dragon Ball Super Broly. It wasn't like Dragon Ball Super Frieza Resurrection. It was more, I don't know, it was like almost like it was meant for like a younger audience, but at the same time the old heads, can appreciate it, especially the Gohan and Piccolo fans, which I feel so bad for the Gohan and Piccolo fans. Like, talk about two characters that that's just been disrespected since the age long 20 years ago. Like after the Cell games, like Gohan has just been disrespected. I think he had a moment to shine in the Buu arc, and that was it. And they never. And as far as the power ups go, like Dragon Ball Z is all about the power ups. It is like these power ups feel like low key like ass pulls. Like they don't explain the power ups. Like previously, Super Saiyan has been hinted at since the Saiyan invasion. So like an arc or two prior to the actual transformation, like you're building up to this legendary transformation, and then they go a step further beyond that with Super Saiyan 2. They figure out, if we train and push ourselves, and because of his mixed heritage, being a half Earthling, half alien, he's inherently stronger than both. And they never pursued it. Past that. It was always like, he has all this untapped potential, but they never like fully pursue, go all in on, we're gonna give Gohan his Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, human, Ultra Instinct, Mystic, whatever form, and they don't explain the power up at the end of the film. Gohan and Goten and Trunks, they have fusion. And Piccolo made a wish, which honestly is not like Piccolo to wish for anything. It's not like Piccolo to wish for anything, especially like more power. If anything, he's going to train and acquire this new form by sheer will and grit, as opposed to him going to ask Shenron, hey, can you hook me up? And Shenron's like, yeah, I got you. And you know what I'm saying? Like, it must have been a fan film that I saw that Piccolo went into his inner self and he talked to Neil and Kami, and then they entrusted him with all of their, power or whatever. And that's how he obtained a higher super duper God Namekian form. But now it's like, I'm just gonna go to Shenron every time I need a power up. That's cheap. It's like, I'm not feeling that. And this Toriyama still writing for Dragon, but like, to me, it was just completely out of character for Piccolo. You got Baby Pan, you know, being a menace, and even the whole setup of the villain was like, yeah, you know, I'm trying to get Gohan off the bench, so I'm gonna put his baby girl in danger on purpose. Like what? Just to train him. Like, nah, bro, that's too much. It's funny, it's comedic, but it's like, nah, it's too much, bro. And then you got Bulma, and it's completely in character for Bulma to be asking Shinron for hookups on, you know, woman stuff. But then they started going in on Bulma and fucking Broly Bulma. Like, you know, Beerus all about food. He all about that cake too. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, who's this? Oh, what you got to eat? And she just turned it. And then I don't know if it was intentional, but she turns around out of like, you know, what do you call it? Embarrassment, like fear, embarrassment, whatever. And Beerus is like, oh, okay, bet you can stay. You know, like what? That's completely out of character for Beerus, but again, they just probably just threw that joke in there, especially because I'm not reading all the fan, you know, reactions to, you know, the pervy fanboys with the, you know, the DBZ characters, and we got fucking Bulma with her cake, her yams all in the camera. Like, whoa, come on now. I see what you're doing. Y'all trying to get that M rating, huh? But all in all, man, I enjoyed it. I laughed. I was entertained. It was good. I liked it. You know, I haven't even sat down and enjoyed Dragon Ball in so long. It was just good to just sit down and enjoy it. I wish I would have saw it in the movie theater, you know. But I say that every time I watch an anime. I should have watched it in theater, like Jujutsu Kaisen 0. I say it all the time. It's like, damn, I should have saw this in theater. One Piece Film Gold. One Piece, is it film? It's not Film Red. It's One Piece with Shanks, the last one that came out. You know, I was like, I should have saw this in theater instead of watching the bootleg. I feel bad, but it's Crunchyroll's fault. They need to like make stuff available. You know, and if like it comes out in the theater, like, and people miss it, you should make it available for streaming like a year later, like announce it, hey, it's gonna be available for streaming and distribution through HBO Max or Crunchyroll or Amazon, or buy the. I'm still waiting on a copy of Worlds in Harem, the uncut Blu-ray from Worlds in Harem, because it was actually a good adaptation. It was a decent adaptation. So I don't know, man. It's like my anime slacking, or maybe I'm just getting old, because like all the youngsters, man, they know how to pirate stuff. You know, I prefer to just buy it, so I'm not stressing about, you know, if they shut the site down or viruses or any of that other stuff. Now, moving on, looking at my notes that don't exist. Mandalorian season 3. Today is the 7th. So the last episode that came out this week, what do they call it? Guns for Hire episode. And I love the first 2 seasons of Mandalorian. I think that's everybody. When Mandalorian popped up in the midst of this god awful sequel trilogy with Rey and Kylo and Finn and Poe Dameron, all great characters, all great actors, but the story sucked. You know what I'm saying? Like, they could have did way more with these characters, way more with these actors, and way more with this story. And it's set so far into the future, it's like they could have did anything. They didn't have to link it to A New Hope 4, 5, and 6. They didn't have to link it to A New Hope, Return of the Jedi, and all that. They could have did it like they did Clone Wars. It could have been its own thing, and it started off as its own thing. Well, no, it didn't, because you had Han and what if they would have just had Han, and that's how, you know, and that's just how it played out, and just left it at that, and just kept, you know, Luke and Leia doing their own thing somewhere in the galaxy or whatever, that would have been fine. Because the Force Awakens was actually a good movie. I liked The Force Awakens. I was actually excited to see the other two films in the trilogy, whatever they were gonna go with. At the time, I was right there with everybody else watching the theories and the predictions and all this other stuff. And then a new The Last Jedi came out, and it's like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then I was so upset with Last Jedi by the time, and then I saw the title card for The Rise of Skywalker. I'm like, is Luke coming back? Like, what's going on? And it's like, no, it's like they making her a Skywalker. Like, is Luke supposed to be Luke and Mara Jade's kid? Like, what's going on? Like, this is crazy. And even then, it was like the promotions were just way better than the movie. Way better, leaps and bounds better than the movie. Like they basically Instagrammed that. Like, yeah, man, I got this, I got that, and it's gonna be all this, and then you get it, and it's like nothing. It crumbles in your hand, it crumbles in your mouth, no taste, no flavor, no nothing. And it's like, bro, and at the same time, and they pulled a flex. Mandalorian released the same weekend as the opening of Rise of Skywalker, which everybody was already boycotting. Like, no, we're not watching this garbage. We're watching Mandalorian. And Mandalorian was that stuff. It was good. It was Star Wars. Everybody instantly fell in love with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, instantly fell in love with the Mandalorian. Fast forward to season 3, after the mediocre Book of Boba Fett, which should have been, shouldn't have been mediocre, mind you. It's like, bro, like, what are you doing to our legacy characters? What are you doing to Boba Fett? What are you doing Luke and Leia? What are you doing to Han? Like, what's going on? Even poor Lando, like, why y'all, bastardizing, George Lucas Star Wars? Just because, y'all paid money for it, y'all bought it. Why are y'all disrespecting y'all own IP? It don't make no sense. And that's just, from a financial point of view. Just forget about the fan reaction. Like, you're basically giving a huge, throbbing middle finger to the fan base. The people that's been buying this content for generations, not years, generations. We talking about your kids, your pappy, your mama, your daddy, your granddad, all your aunts, your uncles, all that. At least 10, 20, 50 years worth of people just making supplementary content, expanding the universe, blogs, vlogs, all this stuff. Star Wars. Not to mention models, toys, lightsaber kits, fan films, all the content. And y'all just pooping on everything. Like what do y'all want? And dude, if you don't know what to write, there's plenty of YouTubers, there's plenty of creators, there's plenty of professional nerds or amateur professional nerds that you can consult that has their fingers on the pulse of the Star Wars fan base that you can consult with and get direction, especially if you didn't want to use none of the extended universe. You trying to capitalize on your profit. That don't make no sense to me. You have all the stories, everything that you want is already written for you. All you got to do is adapt it to the screen. That's it. That's all you got to do. All the work's been done for you. And you coming in here, he's like, nah, man, I want to tell this story about, I don't know. I don't even know what story they're trying to tell with the sequel trilogy, But then you have the Mandalorian come in, and it's Star Wars. Yeah, they had a handful of episodes in the first 2 seasons. You have your 2 bangers, then you have your downtime. That 5th episode was never as good as it was never that good. And then that was it. Then that was a good formula to have. But then this 3rd season comes out, and it's like, what is going on? Mando don't have that many lines. He has a bunch of one-liners. He's seeming very incompetent. He's not the badass bounty hunter that we've come to know him to be. He's like a bumbling idiot with a baby. And the baby's not scared no more. The baby's more in its own element. So it's like, what direction are y'all trying to take the show? I've seen, YouTubers like Star Wars Theory and Nerd Theory. Is it Nerd Theory or I don't know. I know the kid's name is Josh. But they were saying like, oh, there's so much going on behind the scenes, and they basically, instead of just taking a pause and not putting nothing, just taking a pause and making sure that their talent was squared away with the main actor or scripts or just whatever that was going on, because we have a real world political drama with Mrs. Carano. We got real world drama with the lead actor Pedro Pascal, who wants to take his helmet off. Which I understand you want to get your screen time, but at the same time, you're being greedy. Like, just keep the helmet on. Maybe they can arrange you having private time with you and Baby Yoda. You can monologue, or you can act off the puppet or whatever. And because I think he can take his helmet off around Baby Yoda, but he can't take his helmet off, around anybody else. And now they're setting it up to where I think him and Bo-Katan are probably going to end up being a thing. So, he can take his helmet off around her. But even still, it's like, well, this is how it's written. This is how we set it up. You knew what you signed on for. I know you're an A-list-ish actor, and you got some leeway. And it's like, bro, you're Joel. I mean, granted, your character's going to get killed off next season, but still, you're being greedy. Like, you have other projects that you can flex your talent, your art, or whatever. I'm pretty sure it's a whole lot easier doing ADR. Like, you don't even have to come in and wear the suit. You can just you can phone in your lines, you know what I'm saying? Or you can go to a sound stage or whatever. I mean, I'm not in the industry, but I think that's how it works. Like, when you don't actually see the characters, like filming for a cartoon, you can just go someplace, someplace local, do your lines, and then you're done for the day. And you can go shoot, film The Last of Us. You can go film Wonder Woman 2. You can go film these other projects, and you can flex there. And then when people see that, oh, that's the same dude that was in Game of Thrones and The Mandalorian, okay, bet. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how you build a reputation. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, maybe you're a character actor, maybe you're a method actor. I don't know. It's just really, I don't know, maybe I'm just being selfish. So I know the man's about his bread, he's about his art, all this stuff. I'm trying to see both sides. But it's like, it's just like everybody's so, selfish, like narcissistic. It's like, no, you gotta see my face, you gotta see my face. It's like, okay, bro, we're working on it, but we can't jump from A to Z. We need to make a reason why he can all of a sudden take his helmet off. If you just running around the galaxy with your helmet off, then we're repeating, the same thing over and over and over again. You just got the character just got rebaptized, you know what I'm saying? Every time you take your helmet off, you're going to have to go get baptized. So, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, this last episode, Guns for Hire, it started off decent. Like, you have your down episode where really the whole season's been down episodes. But you have your down episode where, okay, we're going to go look for this thing and the thing and the thing. And when they said droids, I thought they were going to do IG-11. Like, okay, well, he's finally going to go get IG-11 back. Nope. Didn't go that way. We have 3 guest cameos. And a lot of people are complaining about Lizzo, but I don't know who that is. I don't care who that is. All I saw was the character. So it didn't bother me as much as it bothered most people. But at the same time, even her acting was out of place for the Star Wars universe. It was like, you're supposed to be monarchy, but you don't really come off as monarchy. You come off as just an annoying celebrity type person who's not really connected to anything. Like, life is good. We have droids doing everything for us, and it's like, that's just, I don't know, just that let them eat cake attitude just really gets under my skin. And it doesn't matter if it's Star Wars or Game of Thrones or whatever it's in. Every time I hear let them eat cake attitude, I get upset and annoyed, and I don't want to deal with it. But it's, to me, it almost feels like that Megan Thee Stallion episode on She-Hulk, which I didn't mind, but I didn't really care about it either. It was more like you be eating good all week, and then you go and get some McDonald's. That's how I took it. Jack Black. I ain't seen Jack Black in years. It was good seeing Jack Black again. I mean, he didn't have much to do. He just smiled at the camera. Hey, I'm in the Star Wars property, bitches. What's up? And that was it. It was like, it was what it was. Now, the big thing for me was seeing Christopher Lloyd. And I thought the dude died like years ago. But he popping up in Star Wars. I was like, what? Like, what the is that Doc Brown? Was that Doc Brown? And I'm used to him being goofy and nice, and just seeing him being kind of nasty. Like, oh, wow. So it's like... And then, so they do the whole, people have been saying Blade Runner. I'm not a big Blade Runner fan, so I can't really make the comparison, but I mean, it was basically a noir type whodunit, why, and how can we stop it and prevent it or whatever, conspiracy type deal. And they solved it by the end of the episode, which is only 30 minutes, mind you. And then the last bit of the episode was, who's gonna lead the Mandalorians? And then it's like, why are y'all fighting again? Like, what's the problem? Like, why did y'all break away? Y'all just broke away because she didn't have a darksaber? And then she challenges the guy, and then he's complaining, well, I should take it from him. We should be fighting him. And it's like, bro, honestly, none of y'all need to be fighting, because he's literally right there. All Den had to say was, hey, man, I'm running shit now, bro. I'm doing what she say, so you do what I say, right? Okay, so you do what I say, and I'm gonna do what she say. So just listen to her. That's my order to all of y'all. Dead, done. Don't have to fight, don't have to do nothing. He, instead of her coming to claim her ships, it's him claiming his ships. She's just speaking for him, just like the other chick on Coruscant is doing stuff for, I'm assuming, Gideon, who the dude, the Imperial guy. And that'd have been a nice, even then Bo-Katan versus Gideon and the other discount Ruby Rose chick. Boom, right there, done, simple. None of this questioning back and forth, blah, 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 blah. And we can just rush immediately. You just take away people's reason to complain. And I think a lot of the problem is Mrs. Kennedy. I keep hearing Kathleen Kennedy is a garbage fucking person, and she's managing this shit or micromanaging the franchise in the hill, because she had her fingers in Book of Boba Fett. That's why Book of Boba Fett turned out to be the way it was. They had to Disneyfy it, and then now The Mandalorian is going down. And it's like, hey, we need to give her own movies, because she's just gonna trash everything until there's nothing. We ain't gonna have no Marvel. We ain't gonna have no Star Wars. We don't know what James Gunn is gonna do with the DCU. You know what I'm saying? The only thing I have that I can trust right now is CW, Superman and Lois. That's it. Flash is done. Gotham Knights is trash. Like, bro, it's like, I guess the age of comic books is over with. You know what I'm saying? They trying to bring back Transformers. Like, no, it's like everything been going downhill. So, John Wick seems to be done. So no more comic book movies unless they gonna, Keanu's gonna be like, you know what? I'm gonna go and pull Constantine out of the grave. I'm gonna go and do, well, Bill and Ted should be done unless they do like a spinoff with his kids, the next generation, so to speak. And then you got Yeah, that's pretty much all the media that I watch is Star Wars, Marvel, and DC or DCU, DC, television. And honestly, they need to stop. I know it's a money issue and it's a licensing issue. They just need to. If you're gonna connect everything, you want to expand it universe. Just connect everything. There's no reason the Snyder verse couldn't have had Green Arrow as a part of the DCU. You know what I'm saying? That's more characters and more IP that you can add into your universe. More time to tell stories. You know what I'm saying? Green Arrow could have ran into Aquaman. He could have ran into Cyborg. He could have ran into Wonder Woman. And they could have fleshed them characters out just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. So by the time we get to Batman v Superman, it's not a total, what? Huh? Wait, huh? Why are they fighting? What's going on? Like, why is Batman here? Like, where did Batman come from? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? If you're gonna connect it, connect everything. Connect TV, connect everything. Marvel, didn't want to add Agents of Shield. Agents of Shield was a good show. It's one of them cult classic shows. They didn't want to add Agents of Shield to the roster, even though half the cast came from Marvel movies. But it's non-canonical for some reason, and that's because of licensing. It's because the Feige was like, "Hey, I ain't got no control over it, and I'm not." And I guess he didn't want to overextend himself, which he ended up overextending himself anyway. Because now you got these straight to streaming shows for Disney Plus that aren't quite working out. And honestly, bro, you stick to what you're good at. Write the movies. Produce the movies, direct the movies, go back to the old formula. I mean, I'm not just talking about the slates and the phases and whatever, you whiteboarded in the executive room and y'all planning everything out. Hey, you go get them old directors, go get the brothers or the sisters or whatever. Go get them directors that made your IPs hot. Black Widow. The Wachowski brothers, they good at writing the espionage and spy thriller stuff. Hey, the characters that they own, well not own, but the characters that they manage are Nick Fury, Black Willow, Agents of Shield, Black Widow, Agents of Shield, and I guess now it's the Thunderbolts and Captain America, new Captain America, Bucky. That's their guys. Then you got the black dude writing for Black Panther, and I guess he's supposed to be the black person, superhero person. So all the black superheroes go to him, And then we got whoever was doing. Well, then you just have to find somebody new for your X-Men, and find somebody for the Eternals, and find somebody for everything else that you got cooking. And then y'all bring everybody together. Okay, your vision needs to match his vision, because y'all the next team up. Your vision needs to match his vision, because y'all the next team up. Then we all bring it together for this final, film in a saga in the franchise, instead of everybody's just going crazy throwing stuff at the wall to see what sticks. We don't like She-Hulk. We don't like Miss Marvel. We don't like... I don't even think people accepted... People liked WandaVision, but they didn't like WandaVision. People like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but they didn't like Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Y'all need to be asking yourselves why. Like, what was the problem? Where's the disconnect? For me, I like Falcon and Winter Soldier. I don't see what the problem is. I like WandaVision. Don't see what the problem is. For me, those two shows, I was tuning in every week to see what was going to happen next. Miss Marvel, I kind of had to force myself to watch. Loved Hawkeye. I loved Hawkeye. Hawkeye was perfect casting, perfect time of year, perfect tone. You know what I'm saying? And again, it doesn't even have to connect to anything. Its whole purpose was just introducing the new Hawkeye, the new character, And that's perfectly fine if you want to use shows to kind of give an origin story. But as far as like everything being connected, it's like, bro, come on. We know you better than this. We know you better than this, bro. We know you better. We have faith in you. You know what I'm saying? You're not DC. You're not DC. you know, and you got this, you know, I'm about to say Kevin Gunn, James Gunn over here, you know, he want to jump ship because, you know, him and Taika Waititi want to, you know, throw too many jokey jokes and take it away from the punch of the content. Thor and Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, Guardians of the Galaxy can be wacky and funny. That's fine. That fits their characters. But you also gotta like look at if everybody's joking and having a good time, you know, what makes a character stand out? Because hey, you knew you going to a Guardians movie, you knew what you was getting. You knew you going to a Thor movie. Well, at least the first two, you knew what you was getting. And now it's like Marvel just looks the same no matter what story, what universe, what world it's in. You're gonna get your jokes, you're gonna get your politics, you're gonna, you know what I'm saying? People don't want that. They want escapism. So it's like, bro, just, hey man, go back to what works. Go back to telling these, maybe not, you know, just go back to telling the stories that made us fall in love with Marvel in the first place. You know, go back and interview Ronnie Downey Jr. and be like, hey man, how did you make Iron Man work? Like, where was your mindset for Iron Man? And, you know, you need to bring that to another character, another major character. Hey, Ezra Miller messing up. You know, he having problems. Maybe you can talk to him and be like, hey, bro, DC not working out for you. We're willing to give you another shot if you're willing to do the work. Or another character that fell from grace, another actor that fell from grace. Just find you a new, you know, Robert Downey Jr., man. You know, somebody that's gonna be the beating heart of your universe. I mean, I guess that can be Kane. I guess it can be Kane. You know, he acted a little too good. He into that method acting. You know, he acting a little too good. He Kane in real life. You know, but yeah, it's, you know, hire Trump. You know, he in a lot of trouble. He needs some help. He can be Osborne or something. I don't know. But you know, I mean, it's like I don't like saying woke. I don't know what woke means. I don't know what woke is. But everybody's complaining about woke. Everybody's complaining. You know, everybody has their own ideas about what should be and what shouldn't be, instead of just, hey man, let them cook. You know what I'm saying? Let them cook. Let them cook the food, bro. You know, how about you taste it? How about you try to taste it, you know, before you're passing judgments and being critical. And you got some critics out there that's just, their whole thing is, I'm a critic. I'm gonna hate your shit if it's not up to snuff. You know, it's blah blah blah. It's off top. You know, I'm coming in hating your movie. You know what I'm saying? You got several critics out there like that, and it's like to the point that I can't even trust the people that I've come to trust. And it's like they tell me something. Oh yeah, it was good. It was this. It was that. And I go see it. It was fucking dog shit. Then they be like, oh man, it was bad. It was woke. It was this. It was that. Blah blah blah. I'm tired of these politics in my entertainment. And then I go there, and maybe the politics went completely over my head. I'm just like, it's not that bad. I don't see what the problem is. Now certain properties, like Willow, oh my god, I was like, I had to turn it off. Velma, had to turn it off. Lord of the Rings, had to turn it off. But some stuff was like, yeah, not that bad. Miss Marvel ain't that bad, you know. I mean, I'm not gonna watch it again, you know, and that's another thing about the old Marvel. Like, you can watch it over and over and over again. You can watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. over and over and over again. Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, I'm about to say Ghostface, Punisher, them I can watch over and over and over again. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey man, just bring all them stuffs into the umbrella, man. Make Ghost Rider great again. I mean, no, matter of fact, Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider was good first time. Like, you know, I mean, I'm just saying, y'all need to, you know, it's too much. There's too many stories to be told. CW did a decent job, like, translating comic book to screen. You know, you got Henry Cavill. Is one of the biggest Hollywood nerds there is, and nobody's using him. Nobody. What y'all got against Henry Cavill? Why y'all hate Henry Cavill? Is it because he has a strong jawline? You know, yeah, Dwayne Johnson, he ran his mouth. I get it. But hey, Henry Cavill, I mean, he can be Superman, Hyperion. He can be Captain Britain. You know, he has so many characters this man can play in any comic book property, and y'all refusing to cast him. Y'all are blackballing him from being a superhero. It's because what, he's this generation Superman, and y'all are jealous. You know, y'all rather have effeminate, scrawny, small, you know, Superman, then have Henry freaking Cavill be Superman. Like, I don't understand. Somebody needs to sit down with me and explain the problem with Henry Cavill. Y'all don't want him as The Witcher. Y'all don't want him as Superman. Y'all don't want him in Marvel. Y'all don't want him in DC. What's the problem with Henry Cavill? What is the problem here? Somebody give this man a movie, a franchise. Yeah, he has Warhammer. I don't know nothing about Warhammer, so I'm not excited. But somebody give this man a franchise. You know, we lost T'Challa. We lost Chadwick Boseman. You know, who's going to be the next Black Panther? Bring back Wesley Snipes. He wrote the original Black Panther. Let him be Black Panther. Let him be old T'Challa. You know what I'm saying? There's so much stuff y'all can do. There's so much stuff y'all can bring back. He don't have to be just Blade. He don't have to be Whistler. He don't have to be Caretaker. It's so much stuff that people want to see, but y'all like, oh, well, the money's not there, or we're trying to reach a younger audience. It doesn't match our vision, and all this stuff, that's the politics. That's the politics right there. You know, that's the stuff that really, tees me off. And yeah, I get it. If an actor is just being greedy, I understand that. Well, I'm not gonna pay you $1 billion because everybody in the free world wants to watch you on screen and fantasize about you for 2 hours. I get that, but still, there's things you can do. I'm pretty sure, there's something that can be done. You know what I'm saying? Why is Pedro Pascal? Love the man, have no problems with the man, don't know him personally, but he's in Mandalorian and The Last of Us. Two main character roles, and if he can do it, why can't somebody else do it? You know what I'm saying? It don't make any sense. Y'all have CGI, y'all have the technology. Y'all can do it if y'all wanted to do it. I don't understand it. Maybe I'm just too old. I don't get it. I'm used to, having to go to the barbershop and buy a bootleg, or VHS, filming it, recording it off of HBO or something. But maybe I'm just too old, But somebody needs to explain it to me. I just saw, what do you call it? not Queen of the Damn. Interview the Vampire was actually translated nicely, and it didn't, and I haven't seen it anywhere else. Who's watching the shows that I think it got greenlit for season 2, but nobody's talking about Interview with the Vampire. Shows I don't hear nothing about. Then all of a sudden it's a season 2, but shows that's oh yeah, first episode, oh, we're gonna give it a season 3. House of the Dragon, I get it, it's Game of Thrones, but still, it's who watches something and is responsible for if it gets delivered or not? You know what I'm saying? All these Korean dramas, good Korean dramas, Glory, Mrs. Queen, The Guest? Anyway, the one about the dude that had split personality, I forgot the name of it. And then it was another one, The Kingdom, the All of Us Are Dead. All these, Korean cinema is catching up to US cinema. It is, to me, it's so many good shows and movies, and maybe they're old over there and they're just not making it overseas, but they're good. It's good. The stories are good. The storytelling is good. The character development, you get choked up at certain scenes. You feel something. And Hollywood don't have that. Hollywood is soulless now. Hollywood, if they're not trying to brain bake you, you know what I'm saying? They're wagging their finger in your face and all this. It's bro, I remember, at least in my history class, they used to say, people used to go to the movies for escapism. It was pure escapism. They'd have the propaganda at the beginning of the film and propaganda at the end of the film. And then the actual meat of the what people came to see was just pure escapism, because nobody wanted to think about the war. Nobody wanted to think about people dying. Nobody wanted to think about people, being in, the world being in turmoil. Now it's like they force feed you all day, every fucking day, to the point that it's coming out your ears. You're having nightmares, and everyone's depressed and on medication, and that's, people miss the heart and soul of cinema. That was the beauty of cinema, escapism. Escapism isn't good, all the time, but in moderation. Every couple months, once or twice a year, a blockbuster comes out. Mission Impossibles, your Independence Day, Fifth Element, Die Hard. All these blockbuster, cult classic, will live forever movies, a part of the culture, movies, and they just tell a story. It's not about men, it's not about women, it's not about good or evil, it's just a story. People want to be, entertained. Entertain me. Now don't make me feel shittier than when I went into the fucking movie. Sorry for cursing. But I don't know. So I'm trying to think, what else is on my notepad that don't exist? Spider-Man and the Spider-Verse. Yep. It amazes me that Sony can get animation right, but they can't get live action right. Give Toby his last movie. Give Andrew Garfield his third movie, and I don't know what else y'all planning to do. And I don't know what y'all planning to do with Tom Holland. So you got 3 Spider-Man, technically 4 Spider-Man, but Spider-Man finally is doing good, doing decent. And let's see, what else I saw? Let's see, Dragon Ball, Mandalorian. Oh, I said John Wick. John Wick, Chapter 4. I think I talked about that already. I'm can't wait I need to go see Shazam, and I can't wait for this Rise of the Evil Dead to come out. Then there's, I think that's it as far as entertainment. I have a whole nother rant to talk about some other stuff, but I need to drink a little bit for that. But other than that, yeah, it's probably gonna get clapped because of the music. I don't know. But thanks for listening. Peace.